Thanks for joining me on this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also be sure to follow me on these other social media platforms. Links are in the description below. All right, have and have not fans. Now, first off, I hope you love the new intro that I'm doing on the channel now, my have and have not videos. Playing the theme song, then doing my brief plug-in for all my social media and for you to subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I'm not going to lie, I think it's pretty sweet. And if it goes over well with you all, I probably will do the same kind of format to my Pain and If Loving You Is Wrong videos. Let me just say, first off, first time that I've watched the haves and the have-nots on Xfinity at my apartment. I've never been able to watch the show in HD, and my gosh, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. So right off the bat, the black dress, just like last week, I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10 for various reasons, because number one, the HD quality, just seeing it in that format for once, was beautiful. Number two, the opening scene was so freaking cringy, like, the creepy ass piano, Veronica playing that. Then we got the flashbacks, and I was talking to my mom on the phone during commercials, and we were both asking the same thing, like, how many times is Tyler Perry going to show that car blowing up? If I'm not mistaken, we saw a couple of different angles where we saw Erica in like the front of the car when the explosion went also. We saw the perspective from the front of the car, so we saw Erica from the windshield, but at the same time, it's like, how many times are we going to see that happen? We see David being rushed into the hospital, and once again, the HD quality is like I can see the darn scarring and whatnot on his back. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just thinking about the preview for next week. Jim's like, don't worry, David, we're going to get that bitch. And then Catherine is like, I hate that bitch. She always comes up with the best ideas. I should have done that to you. Oh my God. Okay, but anyway, let me just say this much. David had me rolling because it was sad, the fact he kept screaming for Erica. Where's Erica? And then the doctors, who are you? And like, I'm Judge David Harrington. Where's Erica? How do you feel? Any pain? They're pain in my legs. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but what and then he's like, Veronica did this. Here's why I'm laughing. Veronica, let's just talk about the beginning of the season when they first moved into, when did the show start? May 1st, the second half of the season. Veronica trespasses, violates the restraining order multiple times, throws a brick through the window, comes back while they were moving furniture in, was breaking whack-a-dum ho, basically destroying property, then setting their vehicles on fire. And all through those instances, I think that's like 3 different times, Erica called the police and whatnot. And then the firemen, of course, showed up during the cars being on fire, then asked who did it. And yet David didn't say anything. Not once did he say Veronica did this. But it took a freaking car explosion with him being rushed to the hospital on a gurney with the fate of his quote-unquote girlfriend unknown for him to finally say, Veronica did this, Veronica did this. The episode does not lose points for that. It just makes me question David's character. Like, okay, it's not until there is a deadly incident for when you actually admit that Veronica was the one to commit such a heinous act. I have no words to describe how I feel about that. But okay, that was the opening of the episode. The rest of the episode kept me on my toes now, just because I didn't know where we were going next, because we were kind of like, look, I saw the preview, I did my trailer breakdown and everything, but we were jumping around from place to place, and just thinking off the top of my head, I don't think there was one scene where I thought, oh man, this drags on too long. I mean, each scene had its moments where I either laughed, I really thought about something, like when Justin was being hazed by his fellow officers. And what I liked about the episode, and the last one as well, it was answering questions that I've presented in live streams and videos. It's like, okay, so what was it, Veronica, and then Pearl, and then Justin's boss was saying how this video has went viral, for lack of a better phrase. So I'm wondering, Justin never going back home to his wife, and just apparently always on the job, how can none of his other officers be telling him or making fun of him? Is it like an act of professionalism, or is it just them being background characters so they really don't have much to say? But in this episode, we finally have the black officer, actually making fun of Justin's, like, go to hell, like, oh, like your marriage. And then the what was the name, KATHYLGB, whatever. That exchange was hilarious. The fact that another member of that sexual group of people tried to reach out to a fellow officer on the force. I thought that was a nice moment, the new kid in school or the kid that's being picked on, and then a fellow person within that group or that social circle reaches out a olive branch. But of course, Justin swatted it back because, remember, he still doesn't admit that he's gay, so there's that aspect of it. Then he goes back to see Wyatt, and what made me laugh about this scene, and hopefully the Wyatt and Justin scenes aren't the new Jeffrey and Justin scenes that take place in the jail cell, where Justin goes to pretty much poke the lion, just poke him with a stick in regards to, oh, you're locked up in here, you need some drugs. What I found funny about it was the fact that Wyatt kept asking Justin to get him such and such, and every time Justin was about to leave, hey, where are you going? And I'm thinking to myself, well, Wyatt, if you want this guy to get what you want him to get, then he will have to leave the front of your jail cell. So I don't really know what he was expecting with that. But in a lack of a better phrase, Jim eventually comes down, talks with George. And what I like about George is he's once again bringing up things that I wanted to know was public knowledge. Like, oh, so the Jim and Malones the Malones and Jim are friends, huh? And then the fact that George was pretty much holding on to a lot of information that he was slowly trickling down to Jim, kind of like Veronica doing the same thing to Jeffrey back at the Artesian bar, but I'll get to that in a second. But, excuse me, it's good to see that Jim is worried about his friend, so he's definitely going down there, as we see in the next episode. Of course, he delivered that line, we're a good, upstanding Christian family. Bull crap. And George saying that he has a strong case is ridiculous because, number one, Wyatt in the last episode said he refuses to testify. And number two, George has yet to find out that Sarah gave away all the evidence to Jim, let him know about Gia. So I really don't know what George expects. Maybe he thinks that this evidence is, okay, you know what? Even though Wyatt isn't going to testify with the evidence I have and I'll find something else, we'll be sure to lock away Catherine and Jim for good. Don't think that's going to happen. So then we go back to the hotel. Gia's there, and I called it. Those two were going to sleep together, even though Candace told them not to. So I'm guessing that's why Candace is going to slap Gia in one of the future episodes. I'm guessing maybe 1 or 2 episodes from now. But I will admit, a lot of stuff is going down that I didn't think would occur at this point. Like, for example, we see Derek, and I know I'm jumping around here, but we see Derek at the end, still working on the air conditioning. And he's wearing the same shirt, and it looks like he's in the same location that he is in the exclusive look trailer we got, where it looks like, there's a guy there that he looks like he's surprised to see. And it looks like he's fiddling around with the air conditioning. That's what it looks like to me. But it seems like everything is going to occur in the same night. Like when Derek goes over and is crying in Hannah's arms, I'm guessing this is the same night that Malik is in there and harassing her. But given the fact that Derek is going to call Hannah when he finishes and then see if they can go out, because it was kind of a cute scene, but it's like, dang, this guy's pushing real hard. But at the same time, Hannah does need a break. I mean, she has been through a lot, and I really hope that in the near future, those two were supposed to go to the beach on a Saturday together, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. And basically we have Derek fixing the air conditioning unit, but now Hannah's being thrown around by Malik. So it seems to me like Hannah won't get the opportunity to answer the phone even if Derek calls her. So I don't know if Derek is going to be semi-creeper by going over to Hannah's house, even though she clearly stated, if I don't answer the phone, that means I went to sleep. Uh, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But that doesn't answer the question of who is this guy in the photo. Is that the friend that Derek said he had to call to open up his shop so we can get this part so we can fix the air conditioning? Or is it some random guy that just popped up out of nowhere? I don't think it's some random guy due to the fact that Derek seems to be standing right where he needs to be fixing everything. So how would this guy just randomly sneak up on him and start fiddling around with the wires? Maybe it's somebody that Derek knows to help him out with the fixing of the air conditioning unit, because it's a tough job, but I don't, we'll just have to wait and see. But in any case, going back to the hotel, we have Jeffrey there with RK. Interesting back and forth, nothing too major. Like I said, they didn't really stand on this scene too long, which I liked. I didn't think it was too dragged out. We finally find out that, RK was attempting to rob him. I liked the back and forth between the two because I knew that Veronica was going to show up and it will be a jaw-dropping moment for RK after finding out that Veronica is the mother of the guy that he was allegedly trying to rob. And keep in mind, RK robbed Veronica. When he was over at the house, he took some of the jewelry when Benny came over and sent RK, and she sent RK upstairs. So remember, it might come out that RK tried to rob Jeffrey of his watch and maybe the gift, because remember Jeffrey said it was a gift. Maybe Veronica gave it to him as a gift. That'll be interesting, because if she finds out that this young man tried to rob her son, then she might discover some of her own jewelry is missing, put two and two together, and that's the end of RK. We'll just have to wait and see about that. But I did love the exchange, RK trying to act you like, oh, is it our anniversary? I forgot. Boy, get the damn champagne. I just love that. It was great. And it's like, I like how RK didn't say that he thought Jeffrey was gay, because I probably think he gets the feeling that Veronica would not take too kindly to anyone assuming, because it's funny, Veronica and Justin are more alike than they care to admit. When you think about it, Justin refuses to admit he's gay, while Veronica refuses to admit that Jeffrey is gay. Let's see here. So we got the hotel, Gia, Benny. In that situation, hope he was wearing clean drawers. I wouldn't be confident to be in my boxers and socks unless I knew, they were both clean. So there's that. And like I said before, I knew him and Gia was going to sleep together, not just based off what we saw in the trailer a couple weeks back, but just because of Benny's track record up into this point. Do you think that Gia was attracted to Benny? Most likely, because I doubt she wouldn't do what Candace said unless she was really in the moment. And unlike Jim, Benny really wasn't forcing himself on her like Jim was a few episodes to go in a disgusting manner. So I think Gia actually liked it. I'm just saying. Then later on, we have Benny going down the stairs, and when Veronica said, boy, sit your nasty ass down, I was losing it. That was hilarious. And I'm thinking to myself, she could probably smell the fact that Benny just crawled out of bed with somebody. It's just like she did when she smelled Justin on Jeffrey. That was funny. Yet, remember, she didn't smell Melissa on Benny after she got home from the hospital, and those two were literally having sex as she was walking through the front door. So there's that aspect of it. And Veronica just laying down more threats, and when I say laying down more threats, I mean she's eventually going to answer those threats. So pretty much whenever she says something, she means it. And I'm like, give this guy a break. He can't stay out of the jail, he can't stay away from the cops. Now the damn Malones are after him. So yeah, Veronica is literally having a celebration, which I really can't wait, because what's the episode called? The Damn Defibrillator. It says like David's in the hospital, but Veronica gets a shock of her own. I'm guessing in that episode, that's when Veronica finds out that David really isn't dead. So hopefully that happens a lot sooner than later. But I do like the fact that everybody's finding out a little bit of piece of the puzzle at different times. Like, Jim finds out about him in the hospital, Jeffrey finds out, and Jeffrey did generally seem concerned about Melissa. I don't think it was so much about him actually caring for Melissa, but just not wanting another person to be a victim of Veronica's schemes, plans, and just icy grip. And also you look at the fact that, okay, so Oscar, Erica, Melissa, and the baby. So that's 4. So technically Tyler Perry was right when he said 3 or 4 deaths in the last 3 episodes. So all those have been confirmed. I honestly don't know who's going to be the next victim. I cannot tell you. All right, so let's see. We covered most of the episodes so far, and actually, I love being able to do these episode reviews right after a episode airs because it's fresh in my mind. And of course, I'll still be doing my trailer breakdown tomorrow when the trailer's up on YouTube. But I think the last part, if I'm just thinking really quick, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, Charles winning the election. Well, not winning, but the results are coming in. The results are coming in. I find it hilarious because we're about to find out who the next president of the United States is, and the haves and have-nots, yet we don't even know who the next governor is. Because remember, Jim fell out of the race, so we don't even know who the competitors were and who won from that, so keep that in mind. And from there, I love how RK was trying to listen to the election like it was a football game. It's like, hey Malik, cut up the radio. That was funny. But let's see, I just want to save the best for last, being the whole Mitch being at the bar situation. But I think I covered most of the episode. If there's anything I'm missing, of course I'll go back and do another video on it. But Mitch going to the bar, I really love this scene because Mitch walked in there confident, like, yo, I know for a fact that it was not Benny. And then Victor, so it is confirmed that this Victor is not a Malone. He actually just works at the bar, so I guess you could say he's an associate of the Malone, so to speak. So crap, what did they say was Don Malone, the guy that was sent to go after Benny, correct? Was that it? But basically, Mitch walks in there, checks the file, sees as Wyatt Cryer, and now they got to call off the hit on Benny. I'm thinking the whole time, Benny, put your damn pants on and run. But then again, I'm thinking to myself also, for once, Benny should have either A, just stayed with Gia. And here's my thing, why didn't you check your phone before you left the hotel? I mean, Mitch was calling you multiple times. Don't you think you should call, figure out what's going down, and then go from there? Because I'm pretty sure Gia wouldn't have minded you staying for a little bit longer because, number one, she was supposed to distract you. And that's also an interesting question. So Benny left. Candace wasn't upset about that. It's just the fact that it was 20 minutes. But as Gia said, I was calling and texting you, and then Candace just hung up on her. But maybe it's the fact because Gia knows she's screwed anyway because she did what she wasn't supposed to do, which was sleep with her brother. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But then we get Malik busting up in the house and Hannah go, oh! So we know that's going to happen next week. But overall, I think it was a pretty solid episode. I wonder about Vic too. You know, Victor is like, are the Malones going to be pissed off at him because they sent some of their enforcers on a wild goose chase for nothing? And keep in mind that they could have potentially killed an innocent man. Not to mention that they killed Benny, they wouldn't have gotten their money back. So there's that aspect of it too. But the fact that news travels fast. I mean, like the guy said, Mama Rose wants this guy's heads are handled. So I'm glad that Mama Rose is being addressed, meaning that we might see her sooner than later. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that I covered everything I wanted to cover in the episode. Like I said before, if there was anything else I missed, you know, I'm sorry about that, but the episode was pretty damn good. I was just excited to see in the HD quality. And also we had Candace calling Erica. Oh, actually, I didn't talk about that. I'm sorry. Candace called Erica and we heard her voice on the voicemail. So that's probably the last time we'll actually hear her voice on the show unless we have a mini flashback or something. But Veronica, oh yeah, I talked about the piano. Candace calling Veronica. I knew that alliance was over. I mean, literally, as soon as Candace gave Veronica that address, that was it. That was a wrap. Bing, bang, boom. And Candace actually, you can tell she's in a desperate position, please, and stuff like that. And Veronica just talking to her any way she wanted to, which I found hilarious. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, Candace is really at rock bottom and she's crawling at the throne of the Ice Queen, who literally doesn't give a damn. And I just, even though I wish, you know, she would have just said what she did, I do like the mystery of it, like the fears. Like Veronica says a lot by not saying anything at all, because even if she doesn't tell you what heinous act she committed, you still get chills down your spine because you just hate to even imagine what she did. So yeah, I'll probably do a video about Candace and Veronica. But overall, guys, I actually enjoyed the episode. I can't wait until next week. I really feel like the dialogue and Catherine going, you know, that bitch, I hate her. She thinks of all the best plans. I should have done that to you. I am just in shock. And then the fact that, you know, maybe Benny is going to think that Malik was sent by Veronica because, as you know, Veronica threatened, you know, if you send anybody after me, I'll show you what kind of beep I really am. So there's that aspect of it. But yeah, I can't wait until next week. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you like the new introduction style I'm doing on the channel? I think it's something to make it a little bit, it's about time I spiced it up. So guys, be on the lookout for my trailer breakdown sometime tomorrow. I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow morning. We'll just have to wait and see. I actually have several items I need to mail for eBay and then do some things around the apartment. But I know Greenleaf, I will try to catch up on that tomorrow as well. I'll hopefully have a video done by the end of the week. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all soon.